I apologize, y'all. Trying to get this camera situated. Just 1 second. There we go. Good evening, everybody. If you guys are on the channel, I'm trying to get this. YouTube wasn't acting right, so I had to switch up devices and switch up how I had them on my phone and on my iPad so I could record at the same time. Hope you guys had a good day today. We wanted to come on today, and hopefully you guys can go and invite some people and have them come on to Boss Life Mondays. Everybody wants to be a boss until you find out what boss really means and what you have to do to be a boss or to be a successful boss. So you guys invite somebody. We're a little bit early. We have a minute or two. Ran into some technical difficulties, but I'm going to edit this and we'll get this right. So on Boss Life Mondays, we've been talking about what boss life really means, what it really means to be a boss, and what the acronyms of BOSS really means. So I want to welcome everybody in on tonight. We want to say thank you for taking out of your time, knowing that you didn't have to do it, but we want to say thank you for taking out of your time and coming by and spending this with us for the next 25, 30 minutes. Boss Life Monday, and tonight we close out the framework with the last S in boss. How many of you guys know what that last S means? What do you think that last S means? If you've been following me, you should see my posts. You should see exactly what it is that I've been posting about. So all week long that you would see what this last S means. And this is actually the catapult in the boss life. It's the one that 10Xs you from where you are to where you want to be quickly. We learned, just a quick recap, we know that the B stands for belief, the O for opportunity, the first S for systems, and that last S on tonight we're going to be dealing with stands for service. We're going to be talking about the last S stands for service. So you say, well, how is it that S will catapult you in service faster than systems, opportunity, and the belief? I'm going to share with you how that is. So belief starts the engine. You got to have belief to even get the engine going of a car. You have to have belief. In systems is what keeps the engine running. To have a system put in place, it's what allows you to keep this engine running in this business, in your marriage, in your relationships, in your life. Systems is what keeps things going. But listen to this. Opportunity opens the door. Opportunity is an open door, but it's not until you learn how to serve. To be of service is what multiplies the impact of whatever it is. If you're selfish, don't look for no impact. If it's all about me and my four and no more, don't look for no impact. There's no need for you to be a millionaire for you and your four and no more. It doesn't take $1 million to be successful for you and your four and no more. It doesn't. All it takes is well discipline for you to be successful for you and your four and more. But when your heart is bigger than just you and your four, then you will see the impact made. When you learn how to serve, when you learn how to give, when you learn how to have a heart for other people and their issues and their problems, your problem then becomes insurmountable. You don't even think about your issues. You don't even think about your problems, because when you look up, you won't have any. Because you're so busy serving and helping other people, you won't even have an issue with your problems. Your issues will no longer be a problem. So I got 4 points that I really want to talk to you tonight about service. The first point is service multiplies and not just adds. Anything can be added to anything. If you do something consistently long enough, I don't care what it is, you're gonna multiply. It's gonna multiply because that's just the law. If you be consistent in anything, you're gonna see some results. If you be consistently bad, you're gonna see the results of that. If you be consistently good, you're gonna see results of that. Go to the gym consistently, you're gonna see results. Take your medicines on time. Do it like you're supposed to. You're going to see results. You be faithful in a relationship consistently long enough, and you're going to see results of your faithfulness. But how many of you guys know, raise your hand, how many of you guys know who Zig Ziglar is? How many of you guys know who Zig Ziglar is? Y'all talk back to me tonight. Let me know you in the room. I see that there are several people in the room. Let me know that you're in the room on tonight. Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything you want in life if you have enough people have what they need in life. So it's not about, life is not about you and yours. It's not about you and yours on YouTube tonight. It's not about you and yours on tonight. It's about helping someone else, being a help to somebody else. Let me tell you something. Put your attention on other people. Try to solve the problem. Not try, do it. Solve the problems of someone else, and you're going to see results happen in your life. But when you're always constantly just thinking about you and yourself and me and my 4 and no more, then that's all the results that you're going to see in your life, because that's all you need. There's no demand. There's no need of no supply. The more of the demand, the more of the supply that you'll have. Money is not a byproduct of service. It's a tool used to serve. So you got to get it in the right perspective. It's not a byproduct of your service. It's a tool to be used to serve. So you should have written that down for you to think about later. Let me ask you something. Where are you adding to other people in your life? Where are you looking to serve other people? Every day that you get up, every day that the Lord gives you another opportunity and another chance, you ought to be willing to serve. You ought to be willing to give over. You ought to be willing to give what it is that you need to give for other people's lives to be on point. Let me tell you something. That takes me into the next point. Not only does service multiply, not only does service just add, it multiplies. Service makes you irreplaceable. There is no one else in this world like you. Nobody else in this world like you. Skills can be duplicated, but service cannot. Service is unique to the individual that's doing the serving. If you're giving the service, if you're giving the service to someone else, that is unique to you. That is unique to you. The skills in which you serve, like cutting hair. Anybody can cut hair that's a barber. Anybody that maybe not be a barber, they may have the skill to know how to cut. But can't nobody serve like I serve. Can't nobody go out there and get it like I get it. There's not too many people that I know that have that same dog like I have. Get out there and willing to do what I have to do to make things happen in other people's lives. Every day that I get up with the intent to serve. And that's exactly the mindset of a boss. You got to be willing to serve. You got to be willing to give back. Any barber can cut a fade, but not all serve with care, consistency, and heart. How many of you in your occupations are serving with care? How many of you walk through the hallways at your job, or sit at your desk at your job, or do what your job is required of you, and you do it with care? With a smile on your face when you don't feel like smiling. A kind word to somebody when it looks like they may be in distress. Forget about how you feel. Forget about what you're going through. Think about somebody else. And when your thoughts begin to be on somebody else, you won't even be worried about your problems anymore, because somebody else out there has problems greater than yours. Let me say this to you. Your service is your fingerprint, is your brand. There's nobody else that can teach the way I teach. There's nobody else that can serve the way I serve. And there's nobody else that can cut like I cut. And even the giving, the conversation, all that I do, can't nobody do it just like I do it. You don't have to worry about being in competition with nobody. You don't have to worry about being in a running match, in a marathon with no one else. All you got to worry about is perfecting your service. When you learn how to serve, then your life will be 10x and catapult forward 10 times than you just thinking about you and yourself and your four and no more. Okay, exercise. I want you to write down 3 ways that you can serve that nobody else can copy. Write down only 3. I'm only asking you to write down 3 ways that you can serve that nobody else can serve just like you. Write it down in the chat so we can see it. 3 ways, or give me 1 way of those 3 ways that you can serve that nobody else can duplicate the way that you do. I'm going to give you a minute to write that down. And think about what I told you. Service is what catapults your life 10x. 10x going forward. 10x going forward. Whatever you do it with the spirit of excellence. Do it with the heart of gratitude. Do it with the heart of intending on helping somebody else. Not looking for anything in return. Not looking for how they can give you back. Because what you need, they probably can't even provide. But believe me, there is somebody out there with that same heart like you have that wants to serve, that wants to give, that has skills, gifts, and talents, and a heart of servitude that Lord have mercy, that you're going to need. Okay? So just mind you, the things that you're going to need is going to be in somebody else. You don't have to worry about nobody else doing for you. You don't have to worry about nobody else serving like you serve. Because can't nobody serve like you serve. Nobody else can serve like you serve. Reputation is built on service. Service expands and protects your brand. Service expands and protects your brand. Think about that. If service expands and protects your brand, everybody wants to expand. Everybody wants to grow, but nobody wants to serve. Nobody wants to serve. Serving is not an easy job when you put thought to it. When you sit up and put thought to a thing, it's not an easy job. It's not something that is easily thought about when it's time to serve, because no telling what the serve is going to consist of. You got to be willing to give whatever it is that you have to give. You have to be willing to serve. Reputation is built on service. You have to be willing to give. You have to be willing to serve in order for your reputation to be built. You can't serve today and grumble and complain tomorrow. You just can't do that. You can't give something with the spirit of excellence with a bad attitude. Your attitude has to be in place. And I often ask my class this: when is it a good day to have a bad attitude? It's never a good day to have a bad attitude, because you never know if that opportunity is going to present itself again in order for you to have a good day. You got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have and that's given to you at the moment. Your reputation depends on your servitude. You got to have an attitude for service. It builds reputation. Example, Amazon, known for service, not just products. They're known for getting your product to you in a timely fashion. They're known for getting the accuracy of your product to you. And if not, if they don't get it to you just like you ordered it and like it's supposed to be, if it's in bad shape when it gets there, if it's not the exact size, if it's not the exact product that it appeared to be on the display, then guess what? Their service says that you can return it at their cost, at their expense, and they'll give you your money back, and you're free to look again and purchase again. That's service. That is kingdom service building. That builds reputation that's irreplaceable. Listen, I'm going to share with you a story about serving beyond the transaction when the doors open. Every day that the door opens at Next Level Barber Institute, Every time the door opens, the bell rings. And when that bell rings, all of the students and all the faculty there says, welcome to next level. Because you could have chosen to go anywhere else, but instead you chose to come to next level. So we're going to show you with not only with just ringing up the product or ringing up the service that you come for, but we're going to show you that we're so grateful that you come in. When you walk in that door, welcome to next level. We're going to make that experience of you coming into next level unforgettable. That's going to be a service that you'll never ever forget. And guess what? There's going to be few people that can contend with that quality of service. And I'm telling you right now, the haircut may not be perfect because there are students that are cutting, but the service is so superb that when they come in and cut and they get the service, and the cut may not just be so, but guess what? It's going to come out every time that they come back. And this is 8 years in Bay City, Texas of building this servitude. It's building a reputation that next level is built on. We're always wanting to go and desire to go to the next level because of our service, not only because of the haircut. The haircuts are good in quality, but the service is second to none. We're going to make sure that you feel welcome and you're going to have a next level experience. Every interaction is an advertisement for your service. Every time you get the opportunity to interact with someone else, that's a chance in order for you to advertise your service. So that someone else may say, hey, you know what? So and so and so and so does this down the street. They can help you get this done. That's an opportunity. That's not, oh, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to serve and do that. No, I get to serve. I get the opportunity to serve. Your blessings and your expansion of your business and the growth of your marriage is contingent upon your service to somebody else. Think about that for a minute. Who are you serving? Who are you helping? Whenever you're in a fast food line, do you ever pay it forward? Hey, pay for that cars behind me, pay for their food. What if they're taking their last $2 or $3 to buy their kids something to eat and they don't have anything to pay their light bill and their lights are going to be cut off tomorrow? Just think what that would do to that mother or that father or that individual behind you if you paid for their food. Because at some point, I was in that place. And sometimes there has been people that has played it forward. There's been people that have blessed me, that have blessed my kids. It's always a blessing to be a blessing. It's always a blessing to have the opportunity to serve. You have to be able to have that servitude attitude if you want to expand and if you want to grow. And let me tell you something. It's not just about why you're here. You got kids that you have here. If you have children, if you don't, you have family, you got loved ones that are here. You got grandchildren that are coming behind you. And you don't want to just live good while you're here, but you want to leave a legacy. You want to leave footprints in the sand for your loved ones to be able to follow, to be able to reap the benefits of your labor. When you come in this world, you come in here with the attitude to serve. You should have the attitude to want to serve. And in your serving, it will create a legacy for them ones that are coming in behind you. Systems may outlive you, but service will define you. Remember that. Write that down. Systems may outlive you, but service will define you. Even when I'm dead and gone, Andre, KJ, and Derek and Cookie, if she outlives me, will be able to carry on and say, hey, you know what? Kim did that. She gave her best in everything that she did. She gave all that she had to give. She gave all that she had within her. When you leave this world, there ought not be nothing that's left in you going in that ground. It's not going to serve that ground any good. You can't serve under that dirt. Any work that you don't get done before you leave here is going to be work that's undone. So when you leave this world, you ought to be able to leave a legacy. You ought to be able to outlive the systems that you have put in place. And there ought to be service that defines your character. There ought to be a service. Bay City will never, ever be the same because I came through Bay City. And I'm not bragging, but I do know what I bring to the table. And I bring a heart of service. I will serve and serve and serve and serve. And I don't think anything of it because it's in me to be of service. I have not lived my life in its completeness and in its fullness if I do not serve. I have a question for you guys. What will people say about your service when your name comes up? What is spoken of you truthfully? Because people say anything because they have teeth and tongue. And my son often told me, and we laughed at it, but it makes a whole lot of sense. People wouldn't even speak or open their mouth if they had to pay for everything that come out their mouth. They would be very careful of the things that they say. But if people spoke of you, spoke of your name, called your name out, what would they say about you? What will people say about the service of your name when it comes up? How did you serve? Did you give with a nasty attitude? Did you give with a begrudging attitude? Did you give in looking for something in return? Did you talk about the things that you gave? You ought to never ever bring up the things that you give if you give with a good heart. If you give with an attitude of servitude in the spirit of excellence, you will never ever hear, oh, I did this for so and so. That should never come out your mouth. That is your praise. That is your blessing. That is your glory of patting yourself on the back when you've learned, when you've served somebody else in the capacity of their needs. That is all that you're going to get in return. There's nothing else coming behind that. Listen, MLK was a very good example for all mankind. Martin Luther King, he served, he gave, he served, he gave. People bring up bad things. People will always talk about bad things that people have done. But how many of you guys are remembering the service that he gave? The things that he took when he left his family, when he left Coretta Scott in the kitchen cooking for the kids, but he went out there to serve humanity. He went out there to serve for civil rights. He went out there so that you and I could vote today. He's gone on, and the legacy of his name lives on. His children, his grandchildren, and his great, great, great grandchildren that live on today lives off of his servitude. They live off of the blessings of their great grandfather, their father, and their grandfather's name. So listen, what are people going to say about your name? What are you doing? What are you serving? And listen, I often say this. If you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. And I'm telling you right now, you need to make up in your mind if you're going to be willing to serve with the attitude that leaves a legacy that people can say, hey, she served with dignity. She served with grace. She served with the attitude of doing, or he served with this. He served with that. If you serve the people, your problems will be insurmountable. You won't even recognize that there is a problem. But you got to be willing to serve and let the systems that you outlive you and the service define your living. What is people going to say about you when you're gone? What are people saying about you now and you're living? Are you serving? What did you do from the time you woke up this morning that God gave you another day to be able to serve? What are you doing today in your servitude? What have you given? Who have you helped along the way today to make their life a little bit better? You can believe. Opportunities will open up. Systems you can create. But let me tell you this. If you're not willing to serve and you don't serve with a gracious attitude and a right mind and a right heart, you need to heart check yourself. You need to check your heart and see where your heart is at. If you have not a heart of service and servitude, I'm telling you right now, you can forget it. You will forever hustle. Even with systems in place, you will forever hustle. It's the service that catapults your life forward. Listen, I'm going to make a challenge to you today. Make service the DNA of your business. If you would make service the DNA of your business, I promise you, it will 10x your business. It will catapult you so fast forward that it will scare you. I promise you, I've done it. I've served, and then I've thought about me and my kids, and I served and I did, but I was always in thought of me and my kids because that I was in survival mode. But when you begin to change your belief system, that's why I first began this series talking about the B in boss. You first have to have a belief system in what you believe is your reality. If you change your belief system, if you begin to believe beyond the vision, beyond the views of what your physical eyes can see, and you can see past that, you see the vision that sits ahead of you, I promise you, systems that you put in place, it will help you scale. But I promise you, without servitude, without service, without giving in service to someone else, you will be in the same position for a while. It might work for you, but it's not going to catapult you forward in the degree in which you want to grow your business. So make service the DNA of your business. What is DNA? What is DNA? DNA is the genetic makeup of an individual, and you can't be separated from your DNA. You are who you are. You can put on a front on Facebook. You can put on a front on YouTube. You can act as though everything is everything. But in the quietness of the stillness of a moment, when you're in that place by yourself, when you're required to act when no one is looking, what does your integrity catapult forward? What comes forward? What shows up in your DNA? What shows up in your integrity? If someone calls you where the spotlight isn't even on you, are you willing to serve? When there's no recognition, there's no newspapers that's writing down the service that you're giving, are you still willing to meet the needs of those that are in need of your service? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to give back when no one is giving to you? That is a heart check right there. You got to check where your heart is. And when you check your DNA and you check the reason why you're doing things, I promise you, it will make it so much easier to serve if your heart is in the right place, if your belief system is in the right place, and the opportunities will always open. Believe me, laborers out here in this world are very few, but the harvest is plentiful. There are so many people in need, especially in the day and time that we're living in today. The day and time that we're living in today, people are living in lack. And I'm telling you, it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Systems that we've been used to, welfare, food stamps, or TANF, whatever you want to call it, childcare, housing, all that stuff that we depended on, is not going to be like we've known it to be in times past. We are going to have to be helpers one to another. And if your belief system has not pushed forward, who are you going to help? What attitude are you going to have? Are you going to be the one that's in need? We ought to get to the place that we become the lender and not always the one that's borrowing. We ought to be able to give somebody instead of always in need of something. We should be able to help somebody else with a lending hand than for us to always need a lending hand. And when you get in that place of living in that place of more than enough, then you too will be able to help. And then you will see how this thing in life is set up. It's set up for you to be of service to someone else. And it may not be those that you help that will be able to help you when you're in need. But believe me, there will always be somebody help, because if everybody has that same DNA to play it forward, to help somebody else, to be able to serve with the attitude of gratitude, to be able to serve with the spirit of excellence, it will catapult your business forward. And listen, on tonight, because some of you guys came in late, but I'm a person that likes to start on time. And in closing on tonight, I'm going to recap. B is for belief. O is for opportunity. S is for systems. And of course, on tonight, we talked about the element of the last S, and that is service. And when you learn how to serve, all these other ones of the boss system will catapult forward so fast that you won't even understand it. Don't just chase success, chase service. Service transforms, and success to legacy. So I'm telling you tonight, if you want to leave a legacy for your loved ones, if you want to leave something for your loved ones to grow on, to be able to catapult their lives forward, to give them a head start, to show an example to someone else, to help somebody else's life be a little bit better than it was yesterday, then I'm telling you, learn how to serve. If you learn how to serve, then your life will be taken care of, and the things that you and your family needs and the things that your business needs will be met. It will be met, and it will catapult your life forward. Listen, on next week, if you turning into service into sales and legacy, turning service into sales and a legacy for your loved ones. Tune in with me next week on Monday, Boss Monday Live, and I'm telling you, I will give you the rest of it. But I'm giving you the formula. Now it's up to you to implement those things and watch your life in your business, your personal life, because principles don't change. Principles don't change. You can add it to any portion of your life and it's going to produce results. It's going to produce results. So if you want to figure out how to turn this into a legacy, tune in with me next Monday night at 7 o'clock and I'm going to show you. Now watch all week long because I'm going to be dropping little nuggets and little gems all week long on my channel on WiLL Barber Boss, and I'm telling you, you will get ready for next week's Boss Life Mondays. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Have a blessed week, and look how you can serve someone else. And watch by next week Monday when we meet, you're gonna see a whole difference if you change the DNA of your life. Have a good evening.